Coming to you live from Nairobi, Kenya. This is a Friday. Right here, TV 47. Quite a lot lined up just for you, but first to the headlines. Tonight, bandits continue with the killing streak in the north.
Natakana serikali watumie intelligence mingi. Wasitume tu mtoto mmoja tu waende tu na might.
Seemingly changing tact and attacking minors. Also tonight, day of drama in Azimio Kiambu rally as the supporters in Busia and Trans Nzoia take it to the streets.
Tumeamua to hold a very peaceful demonstration in solidarity with our brothers and sisters who are in Nairobi and across the county.
The reports say 23-year-old Jeff Mwathi did not commit suicide as alleged as they complete the first phase of investigations. It is 9 p.m. East African time. Catherine Simelo is on the sign language interpretation. I'm used to Stanley Yerungita. Buckle up. In the next 30 minutes, I'll be telling you what is trending in the country and beyond. And we do start on a sad note where 2 children have been killed in separate attacks in Chesogon area, West Pokot County. It is reported that the first attack happened Thursday evening, with the latest taking place today in the morning. West Pokot County Governor Simon Kachapin has so far criticized the attack, urging the government to double its efforts in flushing out the bandits. In a span of less than 15 hours, 2 children have been killed mercilessly by suspected bandits in Chesogon, West Pokot County.
Wakati tulikuwa kwa barabara, tukasikia marisasi zikilia mpaka za Pokot na Marakwet. Tukapata kwamba kuna Marakwet ameuliwa, ambapo barabara ikafungwa sababu ya kutokuwa na usalama. Baadaye tukakaa kufikia saa 10, tukapata kwamba katika shule za sekondari Chepkurel Boy.
West Pokot County Governor Simon Kachapin now calling on the government to double its efforts in flushing out the bandits.
Natakana serikali watumie intelligence mingi. Wasitume tu mtoto mmoja tu waende tu na might. Waje ile kusema tunaenda na nguvu yote na tunapeleka mabomu na nini. Tactics ya hii watu imebadilika.
In the neighboring county of Baringo, this 10-year-old child is fighting for his life after suspected bandits shot him 3 times while he was grazing his family's cattle. According to the father of the grade 5 pupil, Thomas Kiburat, the suspected bandits raided and made away with 42 herds of cattle.
Lio sasa risasi lia kulia. Sisi wote tukatoroka, tukakimbia kwa mapichoni kwa sababu hatuna chochote ya kukinga naye. So baada ya kitu kama 20 minutes namna hii, pile tumeona wamepeleka ng'ombe kutaramuka kulekea upande ya chini. Ndio tukakimbilia pale, pile risasi ililia sana. Tukapata kijana ndio huyo ako chini, amepigwa risasi.
Sisi sasa mpaka mimi nakaa kuchanganyikiwa. Mpaka mimi nakimbia tena kwenda Mandei. Kakutana Pokot. Pika mimi rasi hivyo. Mpaka mimi na moja kutoroka kwenda mahali pengine.
The minor has so far been transferred to Kabarnet Hospital, while Musa Chesir continues to receive treatment at Marigat Sub-County Hospital.
Na hii mambo yote si tunaona tu kwa maji tu, hata sisi hatuna namna. Askari hapa wale wa RTU ambao wako huko hawatoshi maneno. Hii ni kama hata chumbe ambaye ni kama chumbe ambaye umeweka mboga haitoshi. Hawa RTU hakuna kazi wanafanya. Hawezi. Chui msitu area hiyo yote msitu ni kubwa sana.
Kuna location inaitwa Loyamro. Iko Theatre East. Na kuna location iko inaitwa Kositei ambaye sasa ni gallery ya bandit.
This even as the joint security operation comprising of the Kenya Defence Forces, the police and the anti-stock theft unit continue bombing Tandare and Karkaron Hills, an operation which began Thursday morning. Now, 3 people, including an ODM official from Trans Nzoia County, have been arrested in Kitale after participating in Azimio la Umoja demonstration for pushing Kenya Kwanza government to deal with the high cost of living in the country. Reporter Isaac Famba is in the region and has prepared the following story.
As Azimio la Umoja and Kenya continue to pursue their push for change in the country, their supporters from Trans Nzoia County today held a demonstration to show their frustration towards the government. They say this is the language Kenya Kwanza will understand concerning the high cost of living.
Gavana alisema Trans Nzoia hakuna maandamano. Tumefanya na tena kwa amani. Na tunamwambia asisahau mwenye alimweka kwa hiyo kiti ni Raila Baba Amolo Odinga. Asitudharau na asituchezee.
Tumeamua to hold a very peaceful demonstration in solidarity with our brothers and sisters who are in Nairobi and across the county. Tuko hapa Trans Nzoia na tumebeba hapa hivi ni niko nayo. Hii ni memoranda tunapeleka kwa county commission kwa sababu ya gharama ya maisha iko juu.
Iko juu sana.
Unga iko juu. Iko juu. Hii serikali ya bottom up ilituahidi kwamba wakiweka Biblia chini kila kitu
itakuwa chini.
Tunashangaa leo kama bado mkono iko juu ya Biblia.
The protest was, however, cut short by riot police officers who intervened and arrested 3 supporters, including Trans Nzoia ODM women leader Dorothy Aliuda, who were demonstrating at the county commissioner's office.
Mnavyoona hata wamama tunaandamana, tumeshindwa kulisha watoto. Serikali ya bottom up kazi yao ni kuandika watu kazi na kuwapatia milioni 10 ya gari, milioni 20 ya nyumba. Watoto wetu wanalala njaa. Wametoa school, walisema watasaidia mama mboga. Yes. Mama mboga sasa ameshindwa kusomesha mtoto. Ameshindwa kulisha watoto. Tutafanya nini?
Demonstrations were also held in Busia County as supporters of Azimio took to the street demanding for immediate intervention of government towards the economic status of the country as citizens continue to suffer from harsh economic times.
Unga imeenda juu. Sisi Western ni watu ya unga. Na unga hizi ni shilingi 210 kwa supermarket. Unga kwa gorogoro ni shilingi 180. Ndugu zangu, lazima tusimame imara.
Tumeghadhabika sana na gharama ya maisha ambayo imepanda sana. Unga umepanda. Bei ya mafuta ya kupika imepanda. Mafuta ya kuendesha magari imepanda. Gharama ya stima imepanda. Hata watoto shuleni hatupeleki.
Isaac Famba, TV47, Trans Nzoia County.
Meanwhile, a section of UDA leaders led by Secretary General Cleophas Malala have threatened to push for arrest of Azimio leader Raila Odinga should chaos and disruption of peace be witnessed in the planned Monday, March 20th mass action. Speaking at Machakos County, where he met UDA party members, Malala and UDA leaders have warned Raila and Azimio faction of a planned mass action as anarchy, stating that the Kenya Kwanza government will not engage them until they find a better method of addressing the government on their issues.
Tungependa wewe Raila uchukue mtoto wako Winnie Odinga, uchukue mtoto wako Junior Odinga, uchukue bibi yako Aida Odinga, uchukue ndugu yako Oburu Odinga, mshikane mkono mkue mbele, ndio wakina wengine wafuate pale kwa maandamano. Vile mimi nataka kuunga mkono Mheshimiwa Gloria ambaye amesema vizuri hapa. Government does not negotiate with terrorists.
Orchestrated by Odinga demonstrations movement. This ODM party is no longer democratic. It's not Orange democratic movement. It is actually Odinga demonstrations movement. Because it has no business in democracy. It has business in demonstrations. And therefore, mimi naomba sisi sote tueleze hii story kwamba Machakos is a peaceful place. If there are people with ideas, please inject those ideas. Don't tell us to go to the streets. We are not fools.
Unajua tukifanya kampeni tulisema iko wakati tulisema hata William Ruto alisema hivyo president. Akasema huyu mzee wa kitendawili kwa sababu amesumbua Wakenya sana. Tutamshinda na tumweke kwa wheelbarrow tumpeleke Bondo. Mimi naona wakati wa kuweka mzee wa kitendawili kwa wheelbarrow imefika.
Now, to the wheels of justice, and DCI officers investigating the death of Geoffrey Mwathi have concluded the first phase of the investigations and are now progressing to the second phase that will involve interrogating all the interested parties. Gilbert Nalwa tells us more.
After 1 week of investigations in the death of a 23-year-old interior designer Geoffrey Mwathi by the DCI homicide officers, the first phase of the investigations revealed that young Mwathi did not commit suicide by jumping from the 10th floor apartment as earlier alleged. According to the findings of the preliminary investigations, it is almost impossible for anyone to jump from the window of the apartment rented by the popular Mugithi artist DJ Fatso due to the make of the windows. The DCI officers took over the case from the Kasarani police station after the Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki had ordered that the DCI should pick up the matter and bring it to its conclusion. The officers' first investigations further suggested that there were physical confrontations in the room that might have led to the death of Mwathi. On the morning of 23rd February, when Mwathi was found dead, 3 people were inside DJ Fatso's house, including Geoffrey Mwathi. The DCI officers now say the second phase of investigations will include all those who were in the house, as well as the first police officers who arrived at the scene of crime. In the ongoing investigations, several Kenyans have come out both physically and on social media calling for justice to be served to the family.
Hakuna venye investigations inaweza fanywa kama the main suspect ana walk freely. Now, the main suspect here and whoever was around that place is walking out freely. By the way, some of them are not even in country. Kuzuia kesho isijirudie tena, ndio maana tumeandamana na ndio maana we are crying for justice, and we have to make sure that if justice will not be served by the court of law, then it will be served by our hands.
They want the investigating officers to hasten the process and bring the culprits to book.
In this case, the DJ is Fatso, according to the sources that I believe that they are legit, is said to be a witness in this case. And remember, this case, we are not saying it is a suicide case. However, whether they posted it suicide or what, it was not suicidal. This is a murder case, and in murder case, there is a suspect. We can give a reference of the young man who died at Kasarani the other day. The other colleagues, the other roommates were arrested. So, who is Fatso? Is he above the law? That's my question. Is he above the law?
Gilbert Nalwa, TV47.
Tonight, millions of Boda Boda riders who are promised to be part of President William Ruto's government are not a happy lot. Most of them are not happy with the list of the 50 men and women taking up the roles of chief administrative secretaries. They say the list will, among other things, increase the cost of living. Paul Kirby with the details.
He told us it is about sharing power amongst those in power and those who can access power. We told them, no, it is about the empowerment of Mama Mboga, the empowerment of the Boda Boda gentleman, the empowerment of the hustlers, the empowerment of the ordinary citizen. It is not about sharing power. They told us it is about leaders. We told them it's about the people.
President William Ruto's speech in his final lap of popularizing his candidature was full of promises to the millions of Kenyans engaged in SMEs, including Boda Boda riders and vegetable vendors, popularly known as Mama Mboga.
The 50 million of us can afford a decent meal, can afford a decent house, and every one of us can be able to take their children to school.
6 months after ascending to power on the pledge to bring hustlers in government, the president seems to have forgotten to keep his end of the bargain that seemingly got him the votes which were his golden key to the house on the hill. The latest reminder that the chief hustler was not for the hustlers, being the list of those nominated to hold the lucrative chief administrative secretaries, most of them the president's allies who failed in the polls. Boda Boda riders we spoke to say they feel hustled.
Pesa ambayo wameongeza waziri ingerudi kwa unga sahi tunaumia sana, mbali na unga, mafuta imepanda, petroli, hata mafuta ya kupika, yani uchumi imezoroteka kabisa. Inafaa waangalie hiyo, washughulike na vitu muhimu ya wananchi kuliko kuongeza nafasi za kazi kwa watu wengine ambao already wako na fedha.
Ni kweli hasa naumia sana. Sasa hizi watu wamefunga mishipi sana kwa matumbo yao. Ukiangalia hata lishe ya siku ni mara moja kwa siku. na tuliahidiwa tutaletewa vitu vizuri. Kufikia saa hizi ingekuwa vitu imefanyika kizuri, lakini tujaweza kuiona, tujasikia harufu hata kidogo.
The pain has not only affected the bodaboda riders, the wheel has moved on to Mama Mboga, who have raised complaint of being sidelined and that they don't enjoy the fruits of Ruto's presidential win.
Hiyo pesa ndio ingetusaidia, sio kupea hiyo mshahara yao ati MCA, sijui ministers, sijui nini. Mimi naona hiyo pesa ingetusaidia kwa county.
The 50 chief administrative secretaries nominated by President William Ruto will pocket salaries of almost $500 million shillings annually and benefits including 10 million Kenya shillings car grant plus 35 million Kenya shillings mortgage, billions of which Kenyans feel could be used to turn around the economy as promised and in turn improve their standards of living.
Kazi si watu 30 wenye mnaona, kuna watu wako chini ya hiyo watu 30 ambao ni dereva na kila kitu na mfanyakazi na offices. Finance hiyo kitu itakuwa zaidi ni bilioni kadhaa ambayo itakuwa mzigo mzito kwa mwananchi wa kawaida.
The Law Society of Kenya has now threatened to move to court to stop President William Ruto's 50 new CAS list, citing a breach of the law.
The main question is whether he ought to have done 50 instead of 23, because if then the court agrees that he has power to then do the 50, then the question of gender then can be considered.
All Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
Now tonight, Azimio coalition leader Raila Odinga made his final pitch to the Mount Kenya region on why President William Ruto's political base should attend his Destiny March to State House. Odinga, who led Azimio for whistle-stop tour of Kiambu County, allayed Kikuyu community fears that the businesses will be destroyed during Monday's protest. Odinga's tour was, however, briefly interrupted after police blocked his entry to Banana Shopping Center and a tear gas hurled during the rally.
Azimio coalition leader Raila Odinga led his allies to the populous Mount Kenya region in his final pitch to woo the region and back his call to Destiny protest on Monday.
Na hapa ya kwamba tarehe 20 Jumatatu mtajiunga na Wakenya wengine kwa maandamano ya amani.
Odinga allaying the Kikuyu community fears that their businesses and properties will be destroyed during the mass action, telling the Kikuyu community, which overwhelmingly voted for President William Ruto, to join the peace march with white handkerchiefs as a sign of peace.
Nataka watu milioni moja ingie Nairobi. Nakuja kwa amani. Beba kitambaa nyeupe ya ishara ya amani. Raila ataweza kwenda kuharibu biashara ya Wakikuyu ambao wanafanya biashara rejareja. Na ndio watu mimi nataka kutetea. Ninaweza kufanya hiyo. Mimi ni wenda wazimu.
Odinga's motorcade snaking its way through the populous county, starting from Ruaka, only to suffer a setback at Banana, where police blocked his entry, forcing him to use other routes to Kiambu town, where his rally was briefly interrupted by a tear gas canister, said to have been lobbed by police.
Yani askari police anatupia former prime minister tear gas. Anatumia wananchi wasio na shida yoyote tear gas. Yule ofisa wa police ambaye ako in charge of the rest, huyo tunataka jina yake directly ipelekwe Hague mapema.
Odinga proceeded to Roiro and Githurai, where an Azimio dials erected during the day was destroyed by goons. Azimio leaders intensifying their anti-government campaign that President William Ruto has forgotten hustlers in the wake of Thursday's appointment of chief administrative secretaries.
Kikatiba, assistant minister wamekataliwa. Hao ile pesa watapata na watavunja ni nyingi. Ni pesa ya kutosha ya kushukisha bei ya unga, watoto wako wasilale njaa. Kama unataka pesa yako itumike kwa mahitaji yako na sio kwa mabenyenye, Jumatatu ni siku yako.
Azimio takes a break from the People's Baraza's meetings to prepare for Monday's protest. Apul Kamal, TV47.
Meanwhile, up to 10 people have been arrested of allegations of involvement into the death of Otieno, a Kenyan-born citizen of the United States who died on March 6th at a mental health facility in America. His family and legal counsel now claim Otieno was a victim of police brutality against black people, akin to that of George Floyd.
The death of Otieno, a 28-year-old Kenyan living in the U.S. and an upcoming musician, has caused an uproar among the black community living in the United States as calls for justice intensify, many blaming the police officers involved, accusing them of abuse of authority and unfair treatment to black people. After watching the surveillance video from Central State Hospital that recorded the events leading to his death, local prosecutor, the family led by his mother Caroline Oko, and attorneys have condemned the treatment that Otieno received both at a local jail and the state hospital where he died.
What I saw today was heartbreaking, America. It was disturbing. It was traumatic. My son was tortured. My son was treated like a dog, worse than a dog.
In December 2020, Avo through his Twitter handle posted a photo of himself with the hashtag of Black Lives Matter to support the condemnation of George Floyd's death in the hands of police officers. The deceased is said to have had a long history of mental illness and was experiencing distress when he was first taken to custody by officers who were responding to a report of a possible burglary on March 3rd based on his behavior and would therefore take him to the state hospital for evaluation. It was during the intake process that the officers allegedly smothered him to death.
What I saw was a lifeless human being without any representation. No disregard to his human life, care. At what point do we stop preserving life? At what point do we consider mental illness a crime?
3 hospital staff were arrested Thursday and charged with second-degree murder of Otieno, bringing to 10 the total number of people arrested in connection with the murder. Earlier, 7 deputies from Henrico County Sheriff's Office were also arrested and charged. The 10 are expected to appear before a grand jury on Tuesday, March 21st. Sylvia Nyongesa, TV47.
And hopefully justice will be served. And speaking of justice, the case of Junior Sagini was today given light as the court let 3 officers give their testimony before Magistrate Christine Ogweno. And as Elizabeth Atenuna reports, a call has now been made for the Kisii County Police Department to work closely with the Prisons Department to protect the lives of the 3 suspects.
At the Kisii Law Court, an investigating officer and 2 arresting officers stood pensively on the dock to give their testimony on what ensued on the 19th of December 2022, when Pacifica Nyakirario, one of the main suspects linked to baby Junior Sagini case, was arrested near Kenyatta University in Nairobi County, where an irate crowd was after her.
She was about to be lynched, so if we went with her at the house that she was residing, things could have been done worse.
So you did not go there?
I went there personally.
So what did you find?
She was staying at her daughter's residence.
Yes, correct. She was staying at her daughter's residence?
Yes.
What makes you tell the court now that she was on the run? She was staying with her daughter?
She was on the run because she has been previously spotted in Kisii and he has moved on to Nairobi.
That's the way you are thinking?
Yes.
You have come from Nairobi, isn't it?
Yes.
You are now here?
Yes, I'm in Kisii.
Are you on the run?
Yes.
Are you on the run?
I'm on official duties.
Godhead Mburu, the arresting officer, narrated how they got the tip that the suspect was spotted following a social media post implicating her in gouging out 3-year-old Junior Sagini's eyes.
Yes. Members were speeding over in the police post and basing that the police post has less police officers. That is the reason that we went there for reinforcement immediately.
According to Mburu, who was being interrogated by lawyer Kerosi Ondieki, police received reports that the suspect was expected at Kegogi Police Station in Marani, Kisii County, following the probe into baby Junior Sagini's case. The suspect was then transferred to Kisii Central Police Station as bloodthirsty residents were after her life.
Yes. She was at the Kiwanja
Police post.
Police post.
Yes.
Was the situation also hostile at Kiwanja?
Yes. Members were speeding over in the police post, and basically the police post has less police officers. That is the reason that we went there for reinforcement immediately.
The three suspects, Alex Ochogo, Pacifica Nyakirario and Rael Nyakirario, are faced with charges of causing grievous bodily harm to a minor. This is after they pleaded not guilty to the charge of attempted murder. The victim, Junior Sagini, gave his statement on the 10th of March when he told the Kisii law courts that it was his grandmother, Rael Nyakirario, who gouged out his eyes on the 14th of December 2022. The court will on the 24th of March 2023 visit the crime of scene before two witnesses give their testimony. Elizabeth Otieno, TV 47.
Moving on, the Muslim community in Mombasa, led by Governor Abdul Somad Nasir Sharif, had on Friday staged a peaceful procession across the city to lure the Supreme Court take back its judgment on LGBTQ right of association. They have called on Kenyans to rally behind the movement, lamenting that the future generation is at stake, while referencing the faith and the African settings which are against the gay practices. This comes a few days after the Nyali Member of Parliament, Mohammed Ali, advised a total ban on LGBTQ discussions, citing that it is a popularization bid. The Mombasa County Governor has, however, cautioned the society to raise the children responsibly due to the impacts of trending technology.
Kitu kama hiki ni kitu ambacho ni kinyume na desturi, kinyume na mila, kinyume na ustaarabu, kinyume na dini yoyote. Tunamwambia rais wetu asitudanganye akisimama mbele ya majukwaa akituambia kwamba jambo hili haliungi mkono na huku mahakama kuu imeshapitisha. Hii ni message tunatuma kwa the president of the country, His Excellency Mr. William Samoei Ruto. Tunakwambia kwamba tafadhali sisi kama Waislamu, kama Wakristo, kama jamii ya Pwani tumekasirika na tendo hili. Ni tendo la laana. Ni tendo ambalo dini lolote halikubali.
Na sasa hii tusiseme kuwa tutagharikishwa, Allah Mwenyezi Mungu atakasirika. Na ndio maana Kenya yetu sasa hii imekuwa mbaya. Tuko na shida, tuko na dhiki kwa sababu ya maneno machafu yanayofanywa katika hii Kenya yetu. Tukiruhusu kitu kama hichi, wallahi hata kesho mbele ya Mungu sijui tutamwangalia vipi. Kwa hivyo hii ni chanzo cha kukemea. Hatupendi kama binadamu, kama Wakristo kwa Waislamu wameungana, hatupendi neno kama hili. Linatubughudhi, linatuudhi kama wazazi.
Mambo kama haya sasa hivi yako na access. Watoto wakishika simu anaweza na ni lazima lizungumzwe, watoto wetu wajue ya kwa hili jambo ni baya na jambo ambalo kwamba ni ovu, halikubaliki kama jamii nzima katika Kenya nzima.
And into the beautiful world of sports. The National Olympics Committee of Kenya, NOC-K, has prioritized on robust security ahead of the inaugural Kenya Beach Games, slated to be held on the 18th and 19th March this year at the Buntuani Waterfront Park in Malindi, Kilifi County. Now, with over 700 athletes and 200 officials confirming their participation in the Games, police officers earlier today inspected the grounds to ensure they secure all areas effectively during the event. Speaking during the inspection tour, NOC Secretary General Francis Mutuku stated that the focus should not deviate from the games with the presence of police officers. Instead, players should give out their best performance to win accolades. After a soccer tournament held by the county Thursday afternoon in a Centron, the security personnel deemed the venue secure and fit to host the event.
Obviously, with every event, security becomes an important aspect. And yesterday we had the privilege and the honor to have a meeting of the security agencies within the county. so that they can understand the different elements around this event and to provide security. And we are privileged this morning to have the OCPD of the region to come and tour and appraise himself of what exactly we'll be going through. And we look forward to the support of the security agencies so that our athletes, our visitors and all the fans who will come to watch these fans can feel safe.
Tumeweka mikakati ya kutosha na nimezunguka, nimeenda round, nimezunguka, nimeona ya kuwa hii mikakati ambayo tumeweka imetosha na event mtaendelea mzuri, kuna disruption. Officers wale wamekuwa deployed wanajua ground na wanajua vile watu ya hapa vile wana behave.
Kazi yetu kubwa ni kuhakikisha kwamba usalama uko zaidi. Kuhusu mambo ya ugaidi, tutadeploy officers to do some, kufanya intelligence kuhusu jambo lolote ambaye ni la ugaidi linaweza kutatiza event yoyote. Pia kazi yetu pia ni kuchunguza upelelezi kuhusu incident yote ambayo inaweza kuhatarisha occasion hiyo.
The men's national football team earlier today held their first training session to prepare for their friendly match with Iran slated to take shape on the 28th of this month. The training session featured largely local-based players, with Kenneth Muguna of Tanzania's Azam the notable exception. Daniel Sakari, Joseph Mwangi, David Ochieng, Levin Opio, Abdallah Hassan, Siraj Mohammed and Andrew Juma are some of the players who took part in the training session at the Kasarani Annex. In all, 15 FKF and CAF instructors have graduated after a 10-day course of the new CAF Coaching Convention under the tutelage of FIFA expert Abraham Mebratu. The instructors include former national team coaches Francis Kimanzi and Tohir Muhyiddin, former internationals Musa Otieno and Fred Serenge, among others. Speaking at the closing ceremony, FKF Deputy President Doris Petra urged the coaches to spread their knowledge far and wide across the country so as to build the game. Meanwhile, Mebratu stated that the certificates will be of no value to the coaches if they don't disseminate their newly acquired skills to Kenyan footballers. Hence, Kenyan football will not be transformed.
The course that we've done here for the last 10 days have gone very successful for us. We've really enjoyed and of course impacted with a great football knowledge and for the purpose of development of football in the country, and more so beginning at the grassroots level. So as instructors, we are here to ensure that it all works for the coaches, and the coaches are able also to reach the players.
We are trying to make ourselves and our game better. And the only way, to improve our players is through massive search of knowledge, and that's what we have been doing here for the last 10 days. It is quite a sacrifice that we have managed to be here consistently and see if we can achieve that. If we want to develop good players, we also need very good coaches on the ground, and therefore we need very knowledgeable teachers, or instructors who can help educate the coaches to be better.
And still on some football matters, the much-awaited crunch fixture between the FKF Premier League's top two clubs, Gor Mahia and KCB, failed to live up to its billing after both sides played down to a goalless draw. KCB were determined to cut the gap between them and leaders Gor Mahia to 2 points. However, their opponents were not ready to let their comfortable lead slip away as they put in the work to deny the Bunkers all chances to score in the match. The result saw both sides share a point each as Gor Mahia remained atop the league's standings on 47 points, 5 ahead of second-placed KCB.